EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for January 18th, 2023. It is Wednesday, middle of the work week, and the Wednesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by the Walters and Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate, serving all of Lehigh, Northampton, and Carbon counties in eastern Pennsylvania, as well as parts of Bucks, Berks, and Schuylkill counties. Prices are finally beginning to level off in this current market, but inventory remains low. The Walters and Zirinsky team, with over 20 years of full-time real estate experience, specializes in residential resale properties, working with buyers, sellers, and real estate investors. With the mention of this ad, the Walters Zirinsky team will offer a free 1-year home warranty for either the purchase or sale of your home, or an equivalent credit or discount with any successfully closed real estate transaction. They can be reached at 610-867-8888, proud sponsors of the Wednesday video forecast. Okay, so a lot to unpack here in today's video, because we're going to be following up on what I spoke about yesterday, which is some longer-term threats, but I do want to get to Thursday first, because we do have some showers working in late tonight, and there will be a wintry side to that in our northern areas, I think, especially in areas of elevation where you could have some light freezing rain at the onset very late tonight, as with the initial push of precipitation. So here is today. Today is just a partly to mostly cloudy day. Temperatures are going to be mild, 42 to 52 across the region from northwest to southeast. I would say that the areas farther north and northwest will have more clouds to deal with than areas further southeast. Further areas for southeast might be partly to mostly sunny today instead of partly to mostly cloudy. And then the clouds will increase this evening there instead. Here is that precipitation moving in. It's going to move in late Wednesday night, and there could be, again, for the higher elevations especially, most notably, could have a little bit of some light freezing rain at the onset of this precipitation, and then it's going to change over rain there too. And that's going to be during the course of Thursday where that occurs, and then this low pressure is going to track pretty much just directly over the area and give us periods of rain during the day on Thursday. That's going to wrap up on Thursday evening. So here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off at 3 a.m. Thursday. So this is over in the late overnight Wednesday night, right? So as this the initial push of precipitation coming through, there is north of 78, more like the I-80 corridor up here, you could see a chance for some light freezing rain with the initial push of precipitation. Then there's going to be a little bit of a break during the morning, and then after that point, there's still, in the higher elevations, focused on the higher elevations, there could be some light freezing rain where the cold air is hanging on a little bit longer. Elsewhere, we're just dealing with a rain event, and that's going to go through the early evening before this comes to an end. This is looking at 8 p.m. right here, just about to exit eastern Pennsylvania, and then after that, a couple hours later before midnight, it is done, and that is it. So that's our precipitation with this next system. It's not a tremendous amount. We will have to send some rain alerts for areas expecting to get more than a half inch within a 12-hour period. There will be a few of those areas, and also those areas that are expecting some light freezing rain with some minor accrual for any icing that is expected overnight. It's not going to be much, but there will be some minor accrual of freezing rain and ice in those areas that I mentioned. Okay, so going forward from this point, on Friday, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies to start. We still have this a trailing shortwave that is still sitting over the New York State area. Okay, so that's going to be continuing on Friday. So that's going to lead to mostly cloudy skies again across most of the region. Again, it's going to be one of those deals where the northern areas are going to see more clouds closest to that low pressure, and areas farther southeast will see less. Okay, and that is on Friday. Temperatures not quite as warm on Friday as it will be today, but it's going to be a very similar day in terms of how it plays out. Okay, so temperatures the next couple of days are going to be very slightly above average. Today is going to be the warmest of those days, with temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s across most regions. Again, the far interior areas today are going to be in the lower 40s yet, because you're going to have, you're far enough removed from that warm air push, but that you'll be just in the lower 40s today. Tomorrow, quite a bit of a spread where the interior is going to be very not cold, but 40 degrees, and then far southeastern areas will be 54 degrees when you get down here by Atlantic City and Dover. Moving these ahead to Saturday, we're expecting partly cloudy skies throughout the day here, and then I kept this as a precipitation type map here just to give you an idea what the European model is doing. This is the late week system there, and I explained this as before as a thread the needle system, a thread the needle opportunity that's going to come in, we think, late Sunday or Sunday night and continue into part of Monday. Now, because if it's coming in at that time, it will be colder at night like it normally is, and it's going to depend on this track and the timing of this when it comes in, because the thread the needle situation implies that the pattern just really isn't that great. The overall pattern is really not that great yet. It's not. This has been long advertised for. Well, I'm going to be doing long range again on Friday publicly, but I had the last two long range outlooks that we put out on the website had the 26th of this month as the target date for any change. So this is still, Sunday's still the 22nd, Monday's the 23rd. That's a little bit early, okay? It's not going to be a great pattern, well, I want to say great, but a better pattern, more conducive for wintry weather until it's 26th and beyond. And I personally feel that window is going to be about a 10 to 14 day window. So kind of like the 26th through February 4th or 5th. And then we start to moderate a little bit after that, have a little bit of southeast ridge influence after that point. So there is a window of opportunity in there. A window of opportunity is not a guarantee that we're going to get some big storm coming through here, or several of them. There are several opportunities, and it is going to be a more active pattern that we're heading into. The question is going to be how much of that's going to be in the wintry form and how much is going to be in the rain form. We don't know that yet. But this is one of those thread the needle opportunities, and this is the European model that ran today. And it's still showing very consistently what it's been showing the last couple runs here, with an interior hit of snow and then rain farther south and east. And when I say rain farther south and east, I'm talking about like Lehigh Valley and point southeast is primarily rain out of this. You might get some onset snow in some of those areas, but this is mostly an interior central PA, northeast PA, north central PA deal on the European model, okay? The GFS, however, is still holding to the same idea I had yesterday, which is just maybe a brief start as some snow, but this is primarily a rain situation on the GFS. And the Canadian model is kind of in between, okay? Has this snow in the interior. Same areas across central PA, north central PA, northeast PA, right? And rain farther south and east. So we're kind of still holding the same idea we did yesterday. We don't have any different information to give you today as far as where anything's trending, because they're all kind of holding their own ideas. It seems the foreign models, Canadian, European model, are kind of going to a little bit more colder and a snowier solution than the domestic models, which are GFS right now, just the GFS. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. But if it doesn't work out, it's not a big deal. It's not at a time that we're expecting to have a cold pattern that can produce snow. That's not going to be till after the 26th. I will tell you, there's another system coming in here behind that around the 26th time frame, right when the cold air is expected to arrive. This is another thread the needle opportunity. So there's two, 23rd, 26th. Those are your thread the needle opportunities. After that, they're not so much thread the needle anymore. And if we have anything coming in there between then and maybe like the first week of February, they won't be as difficult to get snow a little bit further southeast in areas that have not had snow so far this year. Okay, it's a possibility. It's not a slam dunk. It was a very good pattern we had in December. Didn't really produce, okay? If that same pattern produced was duplicated in January instead, when climatological average highs are lower, we could have had a much different scenario. So we'll see. We are at that climatological minimum high and low temperature period right now, and it doesn't take as much to get snow. But we need to have a pattern that's at least near average in order to produce. You don't need below average, but at least near average. And we don't know how that's going to play out just yet. But so understand that Sunday night, Monday, that period there is a thread the needle situation. It might not produce for your area. It may. It still can trend colder or warmer. We'll see. Okay, and I'll update that information throughout the week as I get more information in. Right now, there's not really much to give you in addition to what I already did, because there's really no change from yet what we showed yesterday, with each model still showing the same ideas they had previously. So nothing to update there, but we should have some resolution as we get later in the week this week. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 18th, 2023. Have a great Wednesday.